Well, howdy, folks. Sorry for the late delay. Well, 24 hours late, and then even later again today because went to log into StreamYard here, and it kindly said, "What studio? What are you talking about? What connections?" So I had to go and delete everything and recreate everything again, which means I've only just sent the link to Mark, so he's actually not even aware that we're on yet. So hopefully he will pop in shortly, and we'll actually be able to move somewhere. All right. Well, say hello to a few people. Peter Grace, welcome. Silver Fox, King Duck, nice to see you in here, guys. And how you all feeling after the ouch? What the hell just happened? That's the question. Is that the end of the bull market? That's yet another question. So we're going to have a little bit of a dive into that. I've been looking around the net. There's a lot of people saying that's it. We're over. We're done. The bull market's finished. There's a few saying no. But this whole massive dip was a systemic corruption in the central exchanges. So the oracles that handle all the actual transactions had a glitch effectively and caused a whole heap of off-sell, which basically broke a lot of people's banks. So yeah, not a nice option at all. Didn't hurt me. I didn't have anything in leverage because what's left of my crypto is just sitting in spot at the moment. So other than the actual drop, and it didn't cause me a major amount of issues, which was good for me. But those that were doing leverage trades, whoa. What's this one? King Duck. I missed the Bitcoin train. I made sure I didn't miss the XRP train. Got on 5 years ago. Nice indeed. However, upon saying that, XRP is currently at a really good buying price. Right. Just saying he's been buying. Yeah. I wish I had some spare cash to buy with. I would have too. Let me just jump over here because I'm manual updating. I can't throw to Mark, so just give me a few minutes while I just organize some stuff. One of the things that you possibly have seen out of all this, the stock markets crashed, right? They went down significantly. And they say this is partly due to Trump doing his 100% tariff on China, and then China saying it's going to do something really interesting about not supplying rare earth minerals, because supposedly they're the only place in the world that has rare earth minerals. Ha ha. Yeah, don't believe that. But that's caused a major dip in the markets, both in the stock market and also in the crypto market. One of the things that didn't actually dip, though, strangely enough, was silver. If you had silver, then you actually are ahead. Let me share a screen here. Got to grab the right one. I want the entire screen, so we'll take that one, move that up to full. I want that one. Share. All right, so if I add that to the stage here, you can see that Ainsley Silver, right now, the silver price, $77.30 for an ounce of silver from Ainsley. So we can see here, and gold, 6,191. That's in Australian dollars. If you want to know what the USD is, so we'll just flip it over. Silver spot price in USD, over $50, $50.07, and over $4,010 for gold. That's about the only thing that didn't take a major dip when everything else went really bad. So here we can actually have a look at the Bitcoin chart. This is on the weekly chart. So as you can see here, it's basically showing that we hit. This is the chart that I had 2 weeks ago, where I did a bit of a range section to show whereabouts we were and what were going on. And as we can see, we got right up here to $125,000, right? And then we dropped right down here for as low as 107. Now, if I'd had some money and I saw it was going at 107, I would have bought some right there and then. But that's not the only one. It didn't just hit Bitcoin. It hit a whole heap of things. For instance, if we go look at XRP, if I can just find XRP on my little list here, XRP. Look at that dip. Can you imagine grabbing XRP at $1.25? All right, $1.25. Man, I would have liked to have grabbed some XRP at $1.25. Same as I would like to grab some Bitcoin at 107. All right, everything hit though. Doge is another one that I keep an eye on. All right, if I look at that, Doge down here at 9 cents. It's a long time ago since I bought 9 cents. Now, that's not 9 cents now. That was 9 cents when that big sellout happened and everybody went sort of basically down to zero. Right now, Doge is now currently being purchased at around the 18-cent mark is what they're looking at. As you can see there, the bid for 18. So, wow. So what are people saying? Well, we are at the end of the bull market cycle according to the 4-year cycle. We are there. This is supposed to be the end, but is it right extended or is it not? That's the issue. So we'll go back and look at BTC again just to give you a bit of an idea. And we'll go back a while. All right, now, if you look closely around here, this is the 21st of October. But see, we hit these figures again in 2004, in May, before we actually ended up jumping up and going up into these higher bands here where we entered a price discovery again. So from May 24 was when we just hit the top and bounced back and then out. So the question being, is this going to be a bit of a fake out? Let's just drop right out of the screen. Now, why did it do that? Fair dinkum, I tell you what, there's gremlins in the machines, all the machines. So crypto market oracles failed. StreamYard failed completely. I'm not even going on Rumble today because the Rumble API key failed. What happened this weekend? Did somebody put through a tracking bug that stuffed up a whole heap of systems? Right? I don't know. It's really weird. So let me try going. Now, see that? Remove that. Add it back to the stage. And I'm back. What? Okay. Weird as. Weird as. Let me just see if Mark is around. Just give me 2 seconds. Live there. Just send him a message. So getting back to this, I was going to drop this back to the 4-hour chart just to have a look at what's going on with that. Now, why am I concentrating on Bitcoin and not some of the altcoins? Well, basically, Bitcoin is the thing that everybody else is the crypto that everybody else follows. So if Bitcoin's doing weird stuff, you can guarantee that 98% of everything else, and here's an example of that, all right, is following the same sort of pattern, as you can see from the massive drops. Everything looks the same. All right, there's not even one. Oh, well, yeah, there was one green, one baby bonk. Huh, it didn't last so long, though. So by looking at what Bitcoin's doing, we can gauge what the rest of the market's doing. So that becomes a part of it. Now, in here, we've seen our massive drop and our massive sell-off, all right, and it kept going, and it's not really recovering much at all. Right, over this weekend, it has not done much at all, which is a little bit of a concern. Is it a buying opportunity right now? Yeah, it is. But then it's also been a buying opportunity. Let's go back to our daily. At these places down here. And if we go back even further, right to the last over here, here's a very similar thing we saw happen in the end of the last bull market. It's in 21, and down she came. We had a massive drop, then it went up a little bit and jumped. Then it came back down, 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 and then we went like this. So we went back up, and then down we went all the way here. So you're going to have to sit there and say, okay, hang on a minute. Are we here? And we're going to get a bit of a bounce back and go to a new higher high? Or are we going to do this and head down towards a bear market for the next 300 odd days or so? That is part of the question that you want to do. Hey, Mark's here. I'll add him to the stage before he's even there ready. He's there. He's not just that picky.
Hello. Can you hear me?
I can indeed.
You can indeed. Good stuff. I hope that I've got a background.
Well, at the moment, all I've got is an FBN signature over here. Things have been going
so you can
today,
hear me, but you can't see me. Maybe I haven't turned the camera setting on. Give me a second. What are we doing?
Well, everything has gone haywire this weekend, mate.
There we go. I haven't got a background. I'll take myself. I don't know. I swear, I think I've come in the back end on your in the actual thing.
You should be able. There's a moderator. You should still be able to turn your background and stuff on.
Let's try that. No, that doesn't work.
Everything is going strange. I'll tell you, it's a strange weekend with the crypto market crashing and then Rumble crashing. We're not even doing Rumble today due to the fact that the API stopped. I set this account up to stream yesterday after our little conversation. Set it up last night, came back in to go into it today and had to go and refresh everything. It was all gone. It was like, what the hell? Unbelievable. Didn't even say that we had active streams. So I had to go to both channels, delete both streams, and the Rumble key wouldn't activate. It's like, I'm thinking there's something disastrous going on in the world of electronics right now. But you're still struggling to get that going, are you?
Yeah. I don't know why. It just doesn't want to work for me. It's not.
Have you got some other window open somewhere? What's it, the background that's not working? Or
yeah,
your camera not working?
No, the camera's working. It's just no background. I don't know why. It usually, I think it's because it'll come through your end, but it worked for me last week.
Yeah. It was fine last week.
See, that sets it up on the.
Okay, so if you go down to your camera at the bottom,
yeah,
right, there's a little pop-up arrow.
Yeah,
and it'll say which camera you're using. Then there's a little cog settings. Got it. All right.
Visual effects. So try that. I'm still getting that it's not giving me any picture. It just says there's no camera, but like you can see me on my camera. It's working.
Wonderful. Okay.
No idea. But yeah, when I click on a background, it gives me nothing on the. It should fill in the screen, like the window, right?
Yep.
It gives me nothing.
That would be what I would think. So, did you come in via the link I sent you, or?
Yeah, but it just automatically throws me into the back end of your studio now.
Yep. Okay, so my guess is probably try and exit the stream and sign off of that.
All right.
And come back in as a guest, maybe. All right. Weird as. Told you everything's going strange. 46 cents was my best on XRP. Really? Nice purchase. I think I got it at 60 or something, so well done. Silverton, I use, I don't know what that is. So J11, he is expecting a great quarter four. I'm not so sure that we're going to actually see that this time around. Got to grab the right screen. This is just my personal feeling. It's, of course, not financial advice because we do not give financial advice. And crypto trading is almost like gambling, right? Just with much better returns if you can pick the right ones. This is a pretty nasty drop. And I know there's a lot of flack going around the internet now about the central exchanges causing all of this. So one has to go, right? The oracles failed. They took out billions of dollars, $20 billion apparently. According to here, this article, this gives you a bit of an idea. And it's just talking about all the liquidations and bits and pieces that occurred from it. And where are we? It says ETH and SOL dropped down by 3.7 and 7% respectively. I think we'll find that it was a lot more than that when we go back and actually have a look at how much it dropped. I don't want to... Where's my ETH? ETH to USD. Okay, so let's go and grab a chart from here. He still hasn't come back in. And I want... Is it that one that gives me what I'm looking for? Price range. All right. So from there to there, 38.57%. That's not 7%. But admittedly, if we just delete that out of there again and go and grab it again, I hate it, the fact that you can't just do it twice. Still no luck?
It had it on and then it took it off. It said that it was all good, and then it said that when I come in here, it's not working. Isn't that crazy? I'll be back.
Okay. I know I'm trying to not concentrate on what I'm doing. Right. So from there to where ETH is currently trading, which is just there, that's still 20% drop. A 20% drop. So I don't know, guys. Personally, at this stage of the game, I think your better investment's actually sitting somewhere in gold and silver. So if you've got gold and silver, that's certainly what I would be looking at. Now, what do we got here? The crash is just a fund, was the final shakeout. Now, that is actually a good point, King Duck. It could be, although there's a lot of the big dogs got hurt in this crash as well. All right. Now, understanding that right now, Bitcoin's still sitting very, very low in where it's actually purchasing at, right? Currently just on 11,000. So it's dropped 14,000 over the weekend. Mark has entered the studio. Yay! Add to stage. Hello.
Have a background. Hello, everybody. Finally, I'm back in my mansion. Finally, I got there. I lost the keys, but we got there.
Okay. How are you, my friend? Well done on the show last week. You did a good job. I have to say that. I managed to get a chance to watch it much later. And the fact that you were able to continue talking for that long means that, yeah, you've got a future in this industry, I tell you. So,
yeah.
So well done on the info. Now, I do have to ask, how's your XRP bags feeling at the moment?
Oh, isn't it? It wasn't. How rough was that? Waking up and it all didn't it all happen in like a couple of minutes? Something like that.
Yeah, major. Some of the crypto people are saying that the oracles that control the data flow had a major hissy fit, and all the central exchanges, which are all following off each other, so they started to sell off, and then it just kept going and going and going. I mean, Bitcoin got down to as low as I was showing before. I don't think you saw it, but Bitcoin got down to as low as 107.
Yeah,
that you can buy it at. XRP, it got down to $1. Where are we?
$1.50 something. I had on my charts. $1.57 or $1.51, I think it was even.
Now, according to what I'm looking at down here, it got down as low as $1.25.
Oh wow! See, there you go. It depends on what exchange had what, but yeah, some of the exchanges had $1.25.
Yeah,
good luck buying it.
Oh, I would have loved to have bought it at that if I could have.
Well, that's what they
even now, right? Even now, it's still only running at 239.
Yeah.
So that means that Voice of Freedom's XRP is now currently running at a loss, which is a bit of a.
Oh no!
Yeah, that's all your fault, Mark. You told us to go buy it.
Yeah, that's rough, isn't it? When they black swan you and you just wake up. I was amazed. I mean, I've been through this a million times already, or at least 4 or 5. So it's no surprise to me. I just kind of go, oh yeah, another manipulation event. I mean, they're blaming Trump's tariff announcement and all that for it, but
yeah,
there was also some heavy shorts put on Bitcoin, like billions and billions of dollars worth of Bitcoin shorts put on just before it happened. So people out there are obviously just saying this is manipulation as well, which it kind of is. That's got to be pretty. Someone knew that something was going on if they're putting on billions of dollars worth of bets just before it happened, and then they made like an obscene amount of money. So it's seeing this fall off the cliff. You're like, oh no, now we've got to wait another month or something before it'll kind of recoup and maybe we skyrocket to the upside. Who knows?
I don't know. That's a very good question. I mean, this is your XRP chart, right? This is one that I had drawn out some time ago, and remember I was drawing these lines on it saying if it goes up that way or it could go that way. Well, it went that way, all right, all the way down. But this is the buying range I thought would be really, really good if we can get it down around here or buy in here. At the moment, even now at 237, I would be happy getting something in around that range, because if we extend that out,
because they reckon. But they reckon a lot of the exchanges, unless you had buy orders preset and all your money already sitting in the exchange way down at the low prices, you wouldn't have been able to get your money in fast enough to buy because the exchanges clog up and you can't.
Yeah, well,
very minimal people get to buy at those low prices.
Yeah, apparently though, those people that had stop losses on their accounts, they didn't even get triggered.
Yeah, there you go.
Right, so it went straight through the people's stop losses. In case you don't know what a stop loss is, it means that if the price falls down this much, right, and you hit my little marker that says, okay, that's as far as I want to lose, sell me. That didn't occur. That didn't occur at all. So people's stop losses just straight out went.
Sorry, mate. My computer
No,
just
look at
kicked
that.
me
No
out.
background.
Yeah,
Now
the
we have you
computer
in
just
your
kicked
real
me
image.
out. I'll come back. My computer just kicked me out. I don't know why. Kicked me straight out. I had to just my screens just went blank. I had to go and find where we were again. All I could do was hear you.
Yeah, I actually think there's something going on the internet. Just with everything that I've seen at the moment, I reckon we've got a rogue bug or virus affecting internet systems. It'll be one of the big countries hacking their way through something.
Yeah,
That's what I believe is going on right now. It's just appears to be things are playing up, and not just one related thing, but multiple things. As I explained, StreamYard totally lost their streams for both YouTube and for Rumble. Right. The Rumble live key is not working, so that's why we're not on that. I'm going to have to literally download this and upload this to Rumble later. And apologies to all the Rumble viewers, which actually we have more viewers on Rumble than we do on YouTube, strangely enough. And then, of course, just I was sitting here talking away, and the next minute it basically took my screen off, boom, and threw me back up as normal. I'm going, what? I didn't do anything, So what the hell's going on? So gremlins, and multiple gremlins. They seem to be everywhere at the moment.
Yeah, that's definitely what just happened to me. I was just sitting. I didn't touch anything. I was just sitting here with my hands on my lap, and everything just went blank. Or I could just hear you, and then I had to go searching back through my browser to find the page again. And when I did it kicked me out. And I might go back and see if I can come back in again. Give me a second.
No, that's all right. Just stay
You
as
good?
you are. Have you got
Guys,
any
man,
information?
nobody needs to see my mug, do they?
No, well, I'll tell you what. Why don't we make it even? And let's see if I can do this, which I can. Now we're even. How does that work?
It's
Is that
interesting,
better?
isn't it? Is it? It's
Have
not.
you got anything that's worth of interest to show, Mark?
What have I got? I can definitely go for a hunt through my Twitter feed as usual. Sorry, my X feed. As I usually say something during the week that's kind of interesting.
Yeah. I was saying before you came on to the people that silver is the only thing that wasn't really affected by this big market crash.
Yeah, how fun has that been to watch all week? That's been just brilliant. I find my 9 or 10 years investment is finally really paying off. I was starting to wonder if I should have just put it all into cryptocurrency kind of thing.
You mean all into silver?
Well, because silver hadn't done anything for so long, and cryptocurrency was. So I was kind of like, I was sitting there going, gee, should I sell some of my silver and chase the crypto market? And this was like 6 months, a year ago, even probably contemplating it even before that. And I never pulled the trigger. Just going, no, you've sat on it this long, you may as well wait. And now I finally have. It's been kind of worth doing because I've nearly tripled or quadrupled my money in it.
Yeah,
I think it is now. Nearly tripled it. I think it is, which is pretty good.
Well, when I bought some silver a little while back, I am now about 110% up.
Well played, sir.
So, certainly don't get that in the bank. That was for sure. But yeah, so I thought that was an interesting situation. You've got some stuff there. Good. I will take me off. I'll take that off and put you on. There you go.
There we go. We found. Let's see if I can get it to the right. We can get to Queen Toss News. Oh yeah, this was interesting. This is one of the ones. The market manipulation of what's going on. Just in Tether has printed hundreds of millions of USDT out of thin air and funneled it into dozens of unregulated centralized exchanges to artificially prop up Bitcoin amid yesterday's flash crash. This market is a massive fraud, entirely propped up by fake money. That's kind of one of the arguments that I was making back a while ago to you, Vince, that they just print Tether and buy Bitcoin and manipulate the market with it. That's probably some more evidence of my statement there. And that was from digital asset investors saying no surprise here. That's one of the ways they keep propping up Bitcoin and keep driving the price, because the everyday investor, me and Vince don't have $160,000 for a Bitcoin. So who's buying it, kind of thing? And not that many people. I don't see that many everyday investors still buying Bitcoin, but the price keeps going up. And the argument's always been that because Tether's not properly regulated or audited, they can kind of just print as much as they want, buy Bitcoin with it, drives the price up, then they sell out of Bitcoin back into Tether, wait for the price to go back down, and repeat the cycle and keep making heaps and heaps of money. That was what we've probably seen again happen over the last few days. Feel free to add any comments, disagreements to that, Vince, if you have any.
No, not really.
No. Yeah, it's pretty fair, isn't it? When you see the numbers of what's going on with how they work, some of the people, like, these guys are pretty. They bring up the blockchain things. I mean, that's Ethereum here, but I think the whole thing's got the tether things in it. We might be able. So this was the video I couldn't play last week. I wonder
why is Bitcoin?
Yep, you can play it this week.
Beautiful. See, that was something last week that going in from your end. Maybe it's just a button in your end, Vince, that we've got to push, so you can get sound. Maybe it's in the studio.
Yeah,
but
I am going to do a bit of in studio recording and see if I can figure out what the hell's going on with that. So we need to go there for as long as FBN still exists. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, fair enough.
I'll talk to you about that one later.
Yeah, that's interesting. That's an interesting one to hear. Well, why it still does, we may as well play Raoul's 2-minute clip that we didn't get to hear last week. This is pretty interesting for the cycle.
To the races yet. And it's this chart. Bitcoin is basically, this is a detrended Bitcoin. And it's basically the ISM, which is the business cycle. Remember, we've always said it's the business cycle stupid. It is always the business cycle stupid. And all of these people who claim it's the 4-year cycle based around this and that, they don't understand the fundamental of what the business cycle is, why there's a 4-year cycle in everything. And we've explained it. We'll go through it in great detail tomorrow in our Everything Code presentation. But basically, it's following the ISM. And rates have been following the same pattern. You see, rates should have come lower. They need to come lower because we need to roll the debt. We've talked about this. That's part of the Everything Code, fundamental part. And ISM, because rates are so high, has meant that Main Street has been screwed while Wall Street's made money from debasement. Earnings versus scarce assets. This is the issue that they need to solve, and they need to get rates lower. They get rates lower. Why? Why do we have an elongated business cycle that looks like virtually no other other time? It's because, and I only just found this out redoing the work on the Everything Code recently, is that in 2021-22, they actually extended the maturity of the debt from 4 years to 5 years. So that extension of the maturity of debt has pushed out the business cycle a year. The 4-year cycle this time around is a 5-year cycle. We don't know what the next one will be until we see where they all end up getting refinanced, whether it comes back to 4 because they managed to get some stuff at the long end, or whether they shorten it because everything's in the short end. We don't know yet. But this one is a 5-year cycle. And this is what it looks like. The 5.4-year sine curve, 5.4 years is the exact average weighted maturity of the debt. And it tells us the ISM should peak by 2026. We think liquidity probably peaks before that, as the rate of change of ISM changes and the rate of change of liquidity changes. Our best guess remains well into 2026, probably Q2.
Interesting.
Yeah, pretty interesting. He's come from traditional markets and is applying his trade to the crypto markets, and has got quite a following because he's pretty accurate about a lot of things he talks about. And yeah, that's pretty interesting to see and current trends kind of fit that. But we could wait and see what's going on, I suppose, as we roll into 2026. And he's got a really lovely British accent that we didn't get to listen to, but now we finally heard it. So he's pretty good. If anyone doesn't follow him, Raoul Paul, he's well worth listening to.
Yeah, there's also some interesting parts about that that's relative. I was talking a little bit earlier about is the Bitcoin. Have we hit the end of the bull market? And here he is suggesting
why
that
is Bitcoin?
It's going to go right in. Yeah, no, that's all right. It's going to go a lot longer, which is quite possible because one of the things we've not seen is the retail traders in the market yet. It's been very much just the people who are into crypto, not the retail traders, and they haven't shown up. But you also have to ask the other question. How many retail traders are there out there now, like you and me, who could actually can afford to even invest? We're just trying to live at the moment.
Exactly.
So is that where all the retail's gone? Is it just people can't afford to find an extra $50 because they've got to go buy bread at friggin' $7 or $8 a bloody loaf or whatever it might be?
Yeah, I definitely think so. It's and that's why when we see announcements where the Fed might drop rates or raise rates, really affects the market, because that will either give mum and dad a little bit more money to spend week to week, or it'll take away a little bit of money to spend week to week. And that psychology and either greed or fear in the market, that transcends through all that. And it's pretty easy to see at the moment that, like you said, $7 bread, I'm gluten free, so I got to buy $10 bread. It's really stings. it's yeah. I don't have. I'm sitting here and I'm one of those people like you where we're into it. So any extra dollars we're kind of really thinking, yeah, let's try and throw it in the market. Where we don't at the moment, I don't have it, and I'm just saying I just don't. I can't risk just, especially with our tax laws at the moment too, where you've really got to wait a year, otherwise you're going to you've got to make some money, or you're going to lose 50% of it in tax anyway. You've got to be pretty smart with it, and you can't just go willy nilly. I'll just throw it in, especially when if I hope people that had the extra money, I hope they bought that dip that we're seeing now. I hope they caught it. Unfortunately, I watched it all happen. I'm sitting there going, man, I wish I had some extra coin, but I just don't have it at the moment where I can say I'll throw it in. And luckily for me, I've also done pretty well. So for me to throw extra money in, I've got to throw a fair bit of money in to make a difference. But that's what I was talking to you about maybe a couple of weeks ago, that we're getting to a point where the everyday mum and pop trader, we're getting priced out of the market, and we're getting priced out by the institutions, and the us retail investors are just, unless we're either kind of in now in this crash as a good opportunity, or unless we're in the last 6 months or year, we're slowly just getting priced out of being able to accumulate anything that's going to be kind of
generational wealth. Yeah.
generational wealth is really going to happen. Other than having to wait 10 years, 20 years, people that bought Bitcoin 10 years ago and just a little bit and did nothing, they're doing very, very well now. And that's going to happen to some of the coins. I'd say XRP and XLM, a few of the coins will do that. But that's where you've got to wait your time. You've really got to put your time in the market where the opportunity, if you're smart, you can make a bit more money faster. But you've got to jump on the opportunity. You're only getting presented this opportunity for so long. And we're currently slowly being priced out of the market, basically from hyperinflation. Every time Bitcoin everyone needs to remember, every time Bitcoin goes up, it's not that Bitcoin's really worth $170,000 kind of thing. It's that your money that you used to buy it has become that much less valuable and has been debased that little bit more it's driving hyperinflation. So we're slowly becoming Zimbabwe, where everyone was a trillionaire back in the day, and they were walking around with wheelbarrows of cash. Where they got to the point they didn't count it, they weighed it because there's no point counting it. There's so much of it, it's worthless, and that's what's happening with our dollars. That they're becoming so worthless that the representation in Bitcoin is of $170,000 odd dollars or $150,000, whatever it's at the moment, to buy one Bitcoin. That's how worthless your Australian dollar is at the moment. And that's the main thing that people need to understand when they're seeing this happen, and why you can't keep buying more, and it's harder to buy more because your bread's $10. That's because your dollar got debased even more. So now your bread's $10, $15.
Okay.
And it just makes it harder and harder every week.
This is a site that I've come across on the screen right now. It's called Whale Traders. Right. And I dropped the link into the chat just to show where you can go get it. But it's actually a pretty good little summary page about what's going on, total liquidations amounts, your daily exchange, your volumes on there, ETF flows, which is actually really good to track. See this massive ETF flow that happened here on October the 1st? There was a huge amount that came in, right? Position size calculator, which we're not going to use. Volume heat map, really good to show what's doing what, where's the XRP 2.98% down. Solana's down 1.7 at the moment. Doge is down. I wish I could have bought Doge when it dropped down to 9 cents again. That would have been nice. Right. Our altcoin season index, where we are on altcoin. Digital research heat maps on where the most overbought products are, like Zen currently is pretty much overbought. So it gives you a bit of an idea if you are trading. Coin sentiment. I don't know if anything would be. Oh, look, they're saying sell Doge. What? Really? When that's saying sell, I'd be buying. But here's a really interesting money flow chart. I find this one exceptionally interesting. All right, you can look at it at 1 hour, 4 hour, 12 hour, 24 hour, 1 week. Now, let's just drop back to the 1 week. That's what was happening to the market in a week ago. Big sell-offs, ETF, XRP, right? And the only thing that was being bought pretty much was ZEC, right, which is a privacy coin. So, and if we go back to the 12 hour, we see the same sort of thing. The 4 hour, big change around, right? People were selling the Doge or XRP and buying back into Bitcoin, ETH, BNB, and Sol. Interestingly enough, though, when I was looking at this yesterday, down here, these ones were all the buyers. People were buying in the ones that are now currently selling and coming out of these ones. So I find that extremely interesting. Here you can see, again, what's going on. So a lot of people are selling out of their other ones and buying back into BTC, BNB, XPL. Notice that? Interesting. Dash, etc. And excuse the little because somebody from India just joined the community. But yeah, so very interesting little flow chart. So if people are looking for a tool, I reckon that one's very interesting on how that works. Well, long and short trades, bull market peak indicators, all this sort of stuff. So well worth going through here and having a bit of a look and seeing what you might see. That's good to actually, that you can use if you're thinking of purchasing or not purchasing or selling, right? So what the market's actually doing, they're buying and they're selling. So if they're selling this stuff, it's going to cause a drop in price, which means there's buying opportunities in these ones. At least that's the way I read it. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, for sure. I think that's a very, very fair way to look at the market with what's going on, especially with what coins are there. And you can see, I think Link, ADA, which is apologies. What's ADA? Yeah, Link, ADA, and some of the other guys. They would have the biggest falls in the market.
I wonder if I've got ADA.
Cardano, sorry, that's ADA. Couldn't remember.
Yep.
Yeah, they had enormous falls in the market, which was they'd be great buys. Even where XRP, like you pretty much got a 50% sale if you could get it. If you could get in and actually get your money in to buy it, it's that's I think why you'd see coming out of the major coins, because Bitcoin didn't drop that much compared to the rest of the market. Though also insane that it was the one of the statistics I heard yesterday. It was technically the most money that had dropped out of the market, and that's just because how big the market is at the moment. Where in percentages, it wasn't the biggest percentage drop we'd ever had in the market. The biggest percentage drop, we had a bigger percentage drop in the COVID.
No, actually, that's incorrect. That's actually incorrect. The COVID drop, this drop that happened yesterday, when you take it to its absolute bottom prices, it actually effectively was bigger than COVID and faster. And in fact, you can see it went.
Take COVID out, but we'll go. I don't think it was as big as FTX. There was like all these other ones. There was like 3 other ones that it wasn't as big as all worried about. And I was just like, oh, that's.
Well, this is the total 3 chart. This is the total 3 chart. So it went from 1.19 trillion down to 766 billion.
Yeah, in percentages though. I'm talking in percentages, not money wise. That's
okay. Well, I don't have the percentage chart here.
That was the interesting statistic. That's what I was saying. It was the biggest the biggest fall we've ever had in the market monetary wise. But in percentage to how much money is in the market, it wasn't very big at all. So when you look at how big the market is now,
that chart that I've got up there now,
it wasn't that big of a drop. So it's like people.
That one looks
bigger.
That one right there.
Yeah, which is possibly that might have been.
That is actually around the COVID area.
Yeah, that's the COVID drop that I was talking about. So yeah, in percentages, look at the size of that compared to what we just had.
Which we actually can do. If you give me half a second.
So the money, it was a huge drop, but that's just because the markets got so big. Which is that was a very interesting statistic that I'd heard. You're right, buddy. Come in. We're not on camera today.
209%. 209% for that one.
Yeah, wow.
Versus this one, which is around 30%. So okay. So a bit of misinformation on my behalf there. I apologize for that. Got fact checked in real time. So all good.
That's all right. No, that's what I thought. I was like, oh shit, have I got it wrong? And I was like, oh no, you've misunderstood what I said. That's okay. There's always nothing wrong with a misunderstanding.
I was just listening to somebody else who said it was bigger than, and obviously needs fact checking as well. So, but anyway, all things considered. So, what is the future of crypto right now? I mean, with the US currently in shutdown mode, right, there's not a lot happening over there, other than the fact that apparently now they've got very nice clear blue skies, which is really interesting. A few of that happening on TikTok. But, oh, look at my nice blue sky. It's been like this for the last, ever since last Thursday, Oh, really? So, so that's interesting in that respect. But
apologies, mate. My computer's kicked me out again. I'm trying to find you. I can hear you, but I can't see anything.
That's all right, because I took us off the screen and we should have bounced back up, but we didn't. So, unbelievable. And it's on the wrong side now. Fair flicking dinkum.
This is a pretty amazing thing that's going on my end. I can literally I can hear you, but I can't. There's not one web page I've got that's got you still operating.
Yep. Yeah, no, things are definitely not quite right. I just have that feeling that something is not right. Right, I may have to go and have a shave too, from the looks of that. But just to give it that COVID drop. Hang on, what's this one? That COVID drop you couldn't get onto the exchanges to buy. Come back later. They haven't made enough money before the plebs. Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
I don't think that
that's what people were whinging about. That's what people were whinging about yesterday or the day before, was they couldn't get in and buy. That was one of the big things to use multiple exchanges. Like all the real big crypto people out there are always touting to sign up to multiple exchanges, so you've got multiple options when you need it. Caleb and Brown's always a good one for that too. That the Australian site I was giving you guys before. The way they operate is they basically don't get affected by crazy market things. They do it all. Do it all in a way where it's their own servers and systems doing everything. But that's why multiple accounts, multiple accounts.
Indeed. Speaking of multiple accounts, if you guys are looking for a couple of accounts that you can use here in Australia, not sponsored, I'm going to say not sponsored, but if they want to sponsor us with a Bitcoin or two, I wouldn't say no. But we have our links to Mark's account, which is CoinJar, I think, from memory, and mine, which is CoinSpot, down in the description below. Feel free to go and join up there if you need to have a good recognized Australian account that is legal, right, and does have to have your KYC and all that sort of stuff, but at least it's the government's going to track you one way or another. So if you want to be playing on the right side of the law, their law, then please use those links. Quite honestly, if they can look at my account at the moment, they can see the amount of loss I'm currently sitting at, and I'll just take that off, right? Because it certainly ain't a gain. But anyway, other than that, we're just coming up to the 58-minute mark. We will have to try and debug our systems, and hopefully the world will debug the internet, because there's obviously something not quite right here. I do want to once again raise the $750 lottery. Please go and purchase, if you haven't, from merch at vofhq.com. Go there and help the Donkey Sanctuary out. That would also help out Voice of Freedom, and to a little bit of a degree, the FBN network. We have some interesting challenges coming up ahead with the FBN network, so it may end up not being around for much longer. then that is due to financial constraints. But anyway, so just thought I'd let you all know that we are still here. We're still talking. We're still giving you pretty much useless information. Well, I am. Mark might be giving you a bit more proper information. But yeah, it's good to come in. CIA, what's this? The CIA hacked into coin toss tonight. Not just the CIA.
I don't know why.
Yeah,
I don't know why.
Deadly. Right. We may know a lot of truths, but none of that helps us with crypto, unfortunately.
Yeah, I had no idea that drop was coming. That's for sure. I promise you, I'm not the guy that put on the $1 billion Bitcoin bet. It's definitely not me. Leave us alone, CIA. We just want to. I just want to use my computer on a Saturday or Sunday night. Not have it. Anyway, yeah. I did see a comment before my screen went before when we were talking about silver, and it said one of the ladies in the chat said it's a good argument for the tax in Australia to buy silver. Is it like tax free? Question mark.
Metals. Yeah, saw that metals are tax free. I don't know if they are or not.
Well, I did my research many years ago trying to figure this out, and the information that I found, which was very hard to come by, and when I then tried to confirm it again, the web page was gone out of the tax, and this was on the tax website, like the ATO's website. I went to their website to ask about printed coinage from the mints in Australia that are printed as Australian dollars, silver dollars, gold dollars, because that's actual money, actual Commonwealth printed money, supposedly. So it's not taxable, technically. And the law that basically the wording they had was we don't really have a law on this. And the only information they were given I could find was that another lady had badgered them, sending them emails many years before saying, please give me a law, please give me a ruling on what the law is about these coins and the tax. And the ATO sent her back a message saying, we can't find any information on this. And that was the only thing that they had. So basically, technically, it's tax-free when it comes to printed coinage, as in silver dollars and like from the Perth Mint, where it's a printed Australian dollar or an Australian coin.
Depends on where you take it.
Yes. But any other, if it's just like a bar of silver or a bar of gold, I think you're still subject to your capital gains taxes on the bars because they're not technically currency.
Yeah.
So
that depends on where you would take it. Because it would depend on whether you take it. So if you've got a coin that is marked, say you have a gold coin in it and it's worth $2,500, but it's got $100 marked on it. If you take it to a bank, its legal value to the bank is $100.
Yeah, well said.
Right?
Okay.
But if you sell it to on a weight basis to a trade deal, you're going to get your $2,500.
Yeah,
that's actually how people used to transfer money overseas, because they would take the coins, right, that are worth $2,500, but legally only worth $100, and therefore they could take 10,000 of those $100 coins with them on a plane and sell them overseas for the gold amount.
Fair enough.
All right, just working the system a bit, but
so that's an interesting way to do it.
Yeah, and because legally they're $100, that's what it is legally. That's what's printed on them.
Exactly right.
But, interesting way of working things. But I think you're right. I do think that your investments are still capital gain, which is, you'd have to talk if you're looking at doing gold as for super and bits and pieces, you would have to have a chat with somebody who's in that area, so self-managed super funds, and see what they can do. I'm not going to mention any particular names here or not, as far as that's concerned. But
there was the capital gains on gold and silver is definitely less than crypto from my findings when I did my research back in the day. It was only like if you did it in under a year, it was like 20 or 27 or 25% or whatever it is for you as your wage kind of thing. But if you held, it would be only 50% of that, which is around 10% or 12%, I think, if you hold over the year. So it wasn't like the obscene crypto ones that they've got. But do your research. Don't take my word for it.
As I said earlier, we're not financial advice. So anything we say is just to be taken with a grain of salt and pepper and a sprinkle of silver and gold and thrown over the shoulder. So
some fairy dust.
Yeah, we could do with some fairy dust. Yeah. Well, after this market crash, we need a lot of fairy dust. It will be interesting to see what happens over the next coming week. Remembering, of course, that USA's government's in shutdown, so they're not going to be playing any role in it. If Rand Paul's, was Rand Paul, wasn't it?
Yeah, Ralph Paul. Yeah.
Ralph Paul. If he's right and it does extend over into the middle of 26, then right now is a really good opportunity to buy if you had any, which I don't. I'm not. But it could also be that you buy now and you're going to have to wait 4 years to recover it. So
yeah,
been down that road. Which way it's going to go?
I've been down that road. That's why I say to people, you've got to do your research and build your own conviction in what you're doing. So when things like this happen, you can you don't just shit the bed and go, oh no, what have I done? You can sit back and look at the market and see what's going on and understand why you're doing what you're doing.
Yeah. So Pete, am I trying to be funny, mate? I have a IT computer sense of humor, so if you don't get it, that's all right, mate. I understand. I have a weird sense of humor. Don't worry. I can try to be funny sometimes and fail fantastically, which is funny in itself.
Yeah. Vince is hilarious. How do you not get Vince's jokes?
Fairly easy. Carl misses them multiple times. But yeah. So with that, guys, I think we'll actually hang it up for tonight. Once again, apologies for last night. We can blame Mark for that.
Yeah, sorry guys. I was at work all day and I wasn't going to get home in time to press play on anything. It was not fun. But yeah, at least we got here on Sunday night eventually.
Yeah, so we moved it over to the Sunday nights for tonight, and it may be a little irregular. Mark's working schedule can sometimes cause an issue. And then there's always the possibility that yours truly has been working all night on something that he needs to get done and not get paid for it, as usual. And then sleeps all day and misses the session. So that can also happen. But we will try and keep it as regular as possible, people. But outside of that.
Yeah, we'll endeavour to get here.
Yeah, we will. Brush up on what's happened for the week. Give you our views. Take Mark's more than mine. At least he has some left. I've got pretty much none. Right. So, well, in all fairness, I've had to use it to live off for the last year. So it's a bit of a.
That's the crap thing. That's what I was saying to some of the boys a while ago. That I was like, we're just coming into this stage where we've just got to survive, and kind of what we've got. Almost what we've got, and as long as we can do our best to not have to spend what we've got to live, then eventually we'll get where we need to go. But we're just keep digging and trying to survive. It's very hard. I tip my hat to everybody out there that's just continually one foot in front of the other, trying to get where they're trying to go, because it's bloody hard.
Yeah. Well, if we could probably shout out to the march that's happening on the 19th. Besides all the bullshit politics that goes with it, the whole thing is about Australia, Australia's culture, and about the mass immigration of people coming in who are effectively taking jobs away from the unemployed people, right, that are in this country. Now, I can't remember exactly what Centrelink's requirements are for being classed as employed, but it's a beautiful low figure so that if you're doing maybe 1 hour or 2 hours a week at a job, you're still classed as employed. So when they go and say the job fit, the unemployment figures are such, they take that, they don't include everybody who's got a 1 or 2 hour job in those figures, because as far as they're concerned, they're working. Right. So they say, oh, it's 5.6%. Yeah, and then another 15% of people who are barely scraping through, who have got just a couple of hours work a week, or 3 or 4 or 10. Right? It's such a strategic little move that's bullshit. Right? So the true figures of unemployment in this country are nowhere near what they actually tell us. But they bring all these other people in and train them up. I'm so pissed off with that. Let's get our Australian people who have chosen to come and live in this country, or have been born in this country and who are assimilated into this country. Let's train those people for these jobs. Get the tradies out there, get the electricians, get the plumbers, whatever. That's what we need. We don't need to be bringing in a whole heap more people who are going to be here for 2 years, get traded up and move out of the country again. That's if they move out. Even more.
We'll just send the profits back home. That kind of thing. Send the profits back home. That kind of thing. Not just not care about this country. Yeah, it's pretty disgusting what's going on, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it was all over Twitter last night. The massive machete fight that was going on from the supposed Africans. I believe they were African youths having a machete fight in the middle of a bloody shopping centre.
Yeah,
it's like, right. Maybe we need some of those projectile weapons they have over in America that aren't fatal, that you can use. You've seen those ones?
No.
Shoot a taser type thing, or shoot a solid type round that will not penetrate but will certainly hurt.
I don't think it really would it matter if it was fatal. If you're willing to have a machete fight in the middle of a shopping centre,
I'm just saying,
fatal happens to you. Is that real? Does that really matter?
I'm not going to comment on that one. I'll get it taken down. Right, but I mean, we don't have any way of protecting ourselves anymore. Right, we don't have the ability to protect ourselves. I mean, if we try and assist in some way, we end up getting charged. Like, let's just say, for instance, that an adult, punches a kid in the face, and then you step in to stop the adult. If you grab him first, you're the one who gets charged with assault. What the,
Yeah.
Mind you, I'll still step in because it's just not right. Right? It's
100%.
What is right and what is wrong.
Yeah, so we've got to stand up, isn't it? That's why we've got to get out there and say no more of this bullshit. Because
I mean,
it's not even about me and you anymore, Vince. It's about the kids. They're trying to brainwash, make sure that the little fellas, the little kids that grow up in a world where they don't get to question anything, and they're trained not to question anything.
What's this? I armor-plated my Kia Rio when XRP makes me rich. Oh, you'll armor-plate it. Right, okay.
No, you can buy a tank. You can buy a tank when XRP makes you rich.
But, I mean, if we don't do something about what's going on in this country, we are being sold down the drain really quick. And even though this is supposed to be a crypto show, a bit of other politics will come into it. Because... just as an example, the reason I wasn't on last week was due to the fact that I was busily shifting my son back home. he went to his unemployment meeting, you know, where they try and get you a job, etc. And the gentleman said, "Oh yeah, why are you moving?" "Oh, I'm moving back home because it's cheaper to live." And he says, "Oh, not another one."
Yeah, wow.
You know, as in, this is so regular; it's happening all the time.
Yeah. Yep.
Right, and it's true. Right,
Yeah,
it is.
I have clients that I mow lawns for that have said to me, I'm moving out. I'm moving back to my parents' house because I can't afford the rent." And they're older than 40 years old. They're 45 years old, some of these people. And they're like, "I've got to move back to my parents' house." And they're just so dejected, and because they're like, "I'm 45 years old and I'm going to go live with my parents because I can't afford rent." It's insane.
Yeah. Right. And I don't know what else we can do. I mean, the more people that turn up, the more we protest. There's a whole petition. Actually, I should grab that petition. Oh, I haven't got it here. There's a petition that you can do on the website. I think it's 140, which is a no confidence vote. Last looked at it, 145,000 people had signed it when I looked at it yesterday. So there is a
Get
link.
in there and sign that one, guys. Share that around.
Sorry, what?
So get in there and sign that, guys. Share that one
Yep.
around. We're going to need millions of people on that one.
Oh, look at it. Yeah, Pete. This is when a single unit in Mount Barker, and for those of you who are watching around the country, Mount Barker is in South Australia, just shy of Adelaide, is $580 a week. And the same as a dive in the slum of Christie Downs. Hey, do call Christie Downs a slum? I came from Christie Downs, Pete. How dare you say that? It's not a slum. It's a lower socio-economically disadvantaged suburb. I'll just be political and say bullshit and just rattle it off. Okay. Some of that IT sense of humor. But yeah, effectively there is a lot of various areas that are still cost a significant amount to rent. $580 a week is actually about right. What were you paying, Matthew? How much were you paying? How much rent was yours? What was your rent
before?
Yeah. Your weekly.
Weekly. What was it? For the whole house or just my part?
No, for the whole house.
Um,
This is in Prospect.
570, but you're not going to find anything that price anymore.
Yeah. So 570 was the house I just moved out of in Prospect. All right. So you go, and the prices just went up as well.
Yeah, we just got the letter at my house. It's going up. My rent's going up another $60, and they're doing it yearly now. Yeah, $60 a week. Mine's going up another 60. My rent's going up to $780 a week.
Far out.
Mm-hmm.
Really, $780 a week.
Yep. And we moved in. It was $670, and then they put it up to $720 the next year, and now we're on our second year, and they said, "You're such good tenants. We're going to give you another 1 year lease and put your rent up another $60 a week to $780 a week." And when you look around anywhere, it's really, really crap housing for pretty much the same price, kind of thing. It's like $100 cheaper. So they got you over a barrel by the time you've packed up your truck and moved everything and spent the money on moving. You may as well have stayed where you were. So it's getting obscene. They're just I don't know what they're going to do. Like, how do people afford $800, $1,000 a week rent? Like,
they don't.
People are going to be in the streets soon.
They don't. It's not surprising. I mean, since the heart condition I got and the fact that I got sacked from not taking a jab, so I've been, as I said, living off my crypto that I had managed to squirrel away. But my unemployment benefits are only $850 something a fortnight.
It doesn't go far, does it?
A fortnight, not a week, a fortnight.
Yeah.
All right, and you're paying nearly as much in rent as I get a fortnight, and you're paying that a week.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah,
so
it's turning into like it's like a day, and it's like it used to be. You'd like a day, nearly a full day's pay, and be your rent for the week kind of thing. Now it's nearly like 2 days pay, full 2 days pay almost kind of thing is your rent for the week.
Yeah.
Like, wow. And that's like that's earning decent money too. That's not just a crappy job, like a minimum wage job. That's like a relatively okay job. But yeah, or running your own business. That's also what I do for my side job. Run my own business.
Yeah, well, I have a bit of a side job there, and that's the other part that keeps me going. The odd occasional, because I'm only in a small town, so I do get the occasional computer job and fix-it job, etc. So that's always nice. But plus the web hosting, but even still, that's only an extra $7,000 or $8,000 a year at the moment.
Yeah,
so
it just goes nowhere. That's what it's that you'll spend that on bread.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, certainly not on crypto. Just like I'm buying food, but yeah. So anyway, we should probably wrap it up. We've been going for an hour 20. So
yeah, I should get out of here. I'll get yelled at soon if I don't go on.
Yeah, yes, indeed, you will. Right, the boss of the household has got you under the control.
Yes.
Right. At least she's nice and she lets you have a phone.
Yeah. Yeah, she gives me my hour off during the week. It's good.
Yeah. All right. So with that, people, we will say good night. And my sister's busily trying to ring me. It's been one of those weeks, I tell you. We'll say good night from us and keep an eye on the charts. And as always, from both me and Mark, well, I don't know about from Mark, but from me, I'll wish you a good night, and I'm going to say we'll see you next week, and keep the faith. That's my shine out. That's my sign out. Now keep the faith. Thank you, Charlie Kirk. That's all I have to say. Keep the faith.
And I'm going to say I'll see you next week, and never give up.
Yep. So never give up and keep the faith. That works well. That's our new sign out, right? Remember that for next week. You'll have to remind me because I've forgotten. No. All right, people. Love you all. Thanks for the chat. I'll download this and put it up onto Rumble once it's all finished. And we shall hopefully see you either Saturday or Sunday next week. Not guaranteeing which, but it'll be around the 7:30, 8 o'clock, depending on which state you're in.
Yeah. Sounds like a plan.
All right. And if we can sort out the gremlins. So
yeah.
catch you all. Be nice. Keep the faith. We're out. As soon as I find the right thing to say, we're out, which is that one.